calls for an end to mutual suspicion and killings in Plateau State. Says genuine dialogue and commitment to peace will help in building a better society. INEC introduces bimodal voters accreditation system to aid the sanctity of the ballot, but will BVAS be fast? On the trail of conflicting ex-party orders, National Judicial Council to investigate 3 judges. Also on political update today, APC local government congresses, the party stands. In the sub-region, Guinea-Conakry being another guinea pig in the incidents of military coup d'etat on the continent. We have these and many other political tidbits from across the country and indeed the continent. I am Fisayo Gonfui. Welcome. The federal government is being applauded for its approach towards infrastructure development in the country. This was when President Muhammadu Buhari granted audience to Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State.
Briefing the press after the closed-door meeting that lasted about an hour, Governor Dave Umahi says the visit is to express the gratitude of the people to the president for embarking on what he describes as mega projects in the region, citing the second Niger bridge as a good example of what the federal government is doing.
The second Niger bridge is fast and fast becoming a reality. Each time we visit that bridge location, it's always like a dream. And so we, the people of Southeast, were very grateful to Mr. President for this.
The governor also speaks on the limestone granules project in the area to fast-track the presidential fertilizer initiative. President Muhammadu Buhari says has already approved the fund and released to the Solid Mineral Development Ministry, but which still requires private sector involvement.
We also thank him for the award of the Eastern Corridor of railway line. This is a project that is going to fast-track the commercial activities of our people. One of his cardinal objectives is to integrate in Southeast all the state capitals. But in putting together the project through Southeast, that the capital of Ebonyi State, which is Abakaliki, and capital of Anambra State, which is Oka, will meet it.
Governor Umahi is also inviting the president to inaugurate a number of projects executed by his administration.
President Muhammadu Buhari has called for continuous dialogue as a way of ending mutual suspicion and killings in Plateau State and other parts of the country. The president's thoughts were contained in a message to an interactive session of stakeholders in Jos on the recent incidences in parts of the state.
The meeting was organized by NIREC as a means of deepening the peace process in the state, with the hope that it will spill over to other parts of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari reminded Nigerians of the sanctity of life and government's determination to restore peace, urging citizens to work towards sustainable development.
When we rise from this meeting today, we should have given the people of Plateau State substantial assurances on the following. 1. Our determination to restore peace or sense of justice in a transparent manner.
Governors of Ekiti, Niger, and Sokoto states said Plateau State was renowned for its peaceful coexistence and called for lasting peace for meaningful development.
The path to peace is justice, and the path to justice is fairness, equity, and inclusion.
Over the years that we've been having insecurity in many communities, many states in Nigeria, you will know that there is no benefit.
There is no need for conflict based on ethnic or religious background, because whatever you are, God brought you into that home.
When you give me peace, I will give you development and infrastructure. But when it is crisis, it means the resources will be channeled towards addressing insecurity.
For NIREC, the interaction is an opportunity for participants to ponder about the cost of consistent violent conflicts.
Whatever is discussed here, whatever comes out from this forum, should be for Nigeria.
So we were so bothered about the level of bloodletting that has been going on here in Plateau State. And we see that it is not to the good of anybody.
The meeting attracted traditional, religious and community leaders, as well as heads of security agencies and top government functionaries.
All right, to the bit of party politics now. The All Progressives Congress Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee says it will not accept results of parallel local government congresses from any group of individuals that allegedly did so. The National Secretary of the committee, John James Akpan-Udode, disclosed this while addressing journalists at the party's National Secretariat in Abuja.
Very successful, very successful. Very successful.
Just like the World Congresses, the National Secretary says the just concluded APC local government congresses were successful across the country. He is confident that the party is on the right track towards a successful national convention.
If you gather somewhere else in the name of APC, you know, that's your own business. But our own is that as far as this party is concerned, and we have members who are law-abiding, the congresses went very well. Any aggrieved member who is aggrieved that things were not done properly, there is a channel of venting your grievances. Not to destroy the party. If you go out now without subjecting your petition to these stages, you know, then you are outside the rule of the party. We have a mandate, and we want to fulfill that mandate, and we will deliver it clean.
As part of efforts to ensure unity of purpose and build a united progressive family, the Caretaker Committee, he said, is compiling a list of court cases and their sponsors to be submitted to the National Executive Committee for amicable resolution.
We're open to join two leaders of the party from the north and the south to discuss the conduct of the congresses in the course of this program. But moving on now, it's just 2 months to the Anambra governorship election, and INEC has introduced a new voter accreditation device, the BVAS, to be used during the election and beyond. This was done during a meeting between INEC and chairmen of the political parties in Abuja.
8 p.m.
Such handshakes are rare. If done privately, may attract public query, but here is seen as appropriate. Pleasantries over. Talks on politics begin.
And so with bimodal authentication, no person can come to vote more than once as the face of the person who have been captured. You see during a demonstration, during authentication, and this further ensures one person, one vote.
The bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, takes over the functions of the smart card reader and the Z-pad. Acceptance by stakeholders will allow the usage of the device from the Esoko North State constituency by-elections coming up on the 11th of September 2021, then the Anambra November 6 governorship elections.
Where the voter fails the fingerprint and facial authentication, he or she will not be allowed to vote. In other words, going forward, no electronic authentication, no voting.
Then to the Anambra poll, the conflicting court judgments over 30 now, a nightmare to INEC.
I must say that some of the decided cases are making our work difficult, and we have been crying out loud for a long time.
The intervention by the Chief Judge of the Federation, Justice Tanko Mohammed, to stem this development by summoning the Chief Judges of the states where these judgments were obtained for debriefing today is well received by the Council.
November 6 is the day of reckoning in Anambra State. The mood of campaigns still a concern to INEC. Please let them be issue-based, or better still, use the campaigns to educate the electorate more on the advantages of the continuous voter registration exercise, the INEC chair told the party chiefs.
Meanwhile, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, says the commission will apply its full rights on political parties as a regulator and an umpire.
What is most disconcerting for us is that the more INEC strives to improve the credibility and transparency of our electoral process, the more extraneous obstacles are put in our way through litigations. However, the Commission appreciates the recent statement by His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, as well as the strongly worded concern by the Nigerian Bar Association. We will work with both the bar and the bench to defend the electoral process in the best interest of our democracy. By the same token, chairmen and leaders of political parties
INEC chairman speaking there, and of course we will hopefully get INEC in on these issues, of course, and their preparations towards the off-cycle elections as well, and of course some of the issues discussed as well as the introduction of new technologies, the beavers, hopefully in the course of the week. Now, the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has approved the procedure for its fresh state congress in Cross River State. The party also released its timetable and schedule of activities in early preparation for the June 2022 Ekiti governorship election.
National Publicity Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Kola Olobodiyan, says the rolling out of procedures for the Cross River State Congress is sequel to the approval of the cancellation of the earlier processes, specifically the screening exercise for the State Congress. This, he adds, was as a result of some developments that arose from the defection of Governor Ben Ayade and some of his followers and supporters to the All Progressive Congress. The decision of the NWC in pursuant to its powers under the PDP constitution, according to the party spokesperson, is to ensure fairness and transparency in line with the strict adherence to the tenets of the internal democracy of the PDP. The People's Democratic Party, in another development, has released its timetable and schedule of activities in early preparation for the June 18, 2022 Ekiti governorship election. The party's National Publicity Secretary, Kola Olobodiyan, says in line with their timetable, the National Working Committee has approved the sales of expression of interest and nomination forms later this year.
As earlier indicated in some of the stories we've taken in the course of the program, the National Judicial Council is to investigate 3 judges in various jurisdictions for granting conflicting ex-parte orders. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, stated this at a meeting with 7 chief judges of some states, including that of the Federal Capital Territory. The affected judges have been invited to appear before the NJC to explain why disciplinary action should not be taken against them for conflicting ex-parte orders. Justice Tanko Muhammad warns heads of courts to stop making newly appointed judicial officers vacation judges. He advised the heads of courts to be abreast of developments in the polity and judgments delivered by various jurisdictions to avoid conflicting decisions from courts of coordinate jurisdictions. The CJN warned that the judiciary will no longer condone indiscipline or allow any judge to tarnish its image. Now, the Muhammadu Buhari Oshibajo Legacy Support Group says it is more interested in the sustenance of laudable projects undertaken under the current administration. The group came up with a compendium to itemize government's achievements and appealed to those who may come after the administration to sustain the temple.
They consulted, and then we took another from major tribes like that to form the base of the support group, which will have the back of the party. Then they give us affiliated as a category A. We played, other things, something like, conversing for vote and so on and so forth. And then along the line, we follow the achievement. We go to if there's any program or any project that been approved by the executive council or so, we follow it through the net, internet, and so on and so forth. We go there. If need arise, we carry a camera, we go there and snap picture and write it down. So we said, well, let's use 4 or 5 years. Because of the intervention of COVID-19 and even during Mr. President sick and so on, so we said, okay, let's make it not 4, make it 5. And this COVID-19 also joined and so on. We got this. We visited over 80 locations across Nigeria More especially, we started with the particular project that called Second Niger Bridge, which is very important to our economy for whole Nigeria, not only the zone. So we started from that, from where they started and all that. Some brought on all of something of that nature, and then we got to get the page and started writing it. When we got to know that yes, there are a lot of tremendous achievements, we go to the party, we seek their permission. They gave us the center, media center, and we launched the compendium of over there, and told the Nigerians that look at this is how this government is thriving. In spite of all nonsense people talking from there are serious achievement. And now we'll continue. Went to His Excellency Mr. President to visit him. That is precisely on 18th of June. That's about a few months back, and we'll deliver this to him. The receipt is in the net and everything. And in present that the Vice President there too, the Chief of Staff is there, the SDF Secretary of the Government of the Federation is there, the Information Minister was also there, invited. The fact that the major reason which compelled us to do this is because of the project that was abandoned before, and Mr. President took over from there, fixed on them, and then continued from there. That's what inspires. And then we'll continue with even the new one is doing, and so on and so forth. For example, like the achievement of NNPC yesterday was in the news and all that. Those are the typical example. But our own is pictorial here, evidential reportage that you can see, and they want to launch about 5 million copies across Nigeria. We will circulate it every nook and cranny of the country, especially 774 local government in Nigeria. We would like to do that. That is one of the effects, because Nigerians, for them to see, this is a hard copy. We still have soft copy, which will be run like video. We'll place it into all these media houses and so on to see, and so on and so forth. Nigerians, we should know ourselves that we came from the same place. We are of the same band. That's why I said the example of APC with the broom. We need to do that. Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari's deputy, Professor Marshall, they means well for Nigeria, and they have done. We did because of that. That's why we followed them. So if we really means for our country well, this is where we start. We start from, and that's where we started. And we show an example that let us come together. There's nothing wrong with loving ourselves and become one good country. This side will take it, the other side will take it. Whoever the feeding will take it. That's why we need this Nigeria together. That's why.
Now, moving to the sub-region, the overthrow of President Alpha Conde's government in Guinea elicited contrasting reactions within Guinea and in the global community. While Guineans were seen taking to the streets in jubilation, the global condemnation has trailed the coup d'etat. Our next report chronicles the journey of Alpha Conde from opposition to the highest position and to his current position.
Located on the Atlantic coast, Guinea, surrounded by three of West Africa's major rivers of the Gambia, Niger, and Senegal. Guinea was a part of France until it achieved independence in 1958. The first coup in Guinea occurred after the death of its former president, Lansana Conté, when a military junta took control of the country and suspended the constitution that was adopted in 1991. Alpha Conde came to power in 2010 in the country's first democratic elections since its creation. Observers say many saw his presidency as a new beginning, but opponents soon accused him of failing to improve the lives of Guineans, most of whom live in poverty despite the country's vast mineral resources. In 2011, Conde narrowly survived an assassination attempt when gunmen surrounded his home overnight and pounded his bedroom with rockets. In 2015, he was re-elected in a vote which opponents claimed was marred by fraud. Towards the end of his second term, Conde announced that Guinea's constitutional two-term limits no longer applied and that he would seek a third term. He was re-elected, but the move sparked violence, street demonstrations, with reports indicating that dozens were killed. On the 5th of September, Alpha Conde was arrested and overthrown by the Guinean military in the 2011 Guinea coup d'etat. There were scenes of celebration on the streets of Conakry after some Guineans took to the streets to congratulate soldiers who detained President Alpha Condé following hours of heavy gunfire. After seizing state television, the mutinous soldiers led by Colonel Mamadou Doumbouya vowed to restore democracy. President Buhari, United Nations, African Union and other world leaders have condemned the action and have called for the immediate release of President Alpha Condé.
All right, that's about the size of political updates. We'll keep our eyes on Guinea, hoping that the promises made by the junta there they would stick by them. And of course, we understand reports reaching us indicate that they've already invited the heads of different ministries for a meeting today. We'll be giving you updates on that throughout the day, of course, and beyond on the Nigerian Television Authority, as well as also we wanted to get in Honorable Tijani Abdul Kadir, member representing Dawakin Tofa and Remingado Federal Constituency, about the APC World Congresses. Perhaps that will be for another day as well. My name is Fisayo Ogunfuyu, thanking you for joining us on NTA's Eclectic Political Ensemble Political Updates, where we give you the very best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews, urging you to play your politics for the greater good. Bye-bye now.